It's the last Friday night in February, and there is no better way to spend it. We have women's gymnastics on tap, and it is quadruple the fun as number 14 Stanford hosts number 5 Cal, number 12 Oregon State, and UC Davis here on the farm in Maples Pavilion. Hello, everyone. I'm Jenna Becerra alongside gymnastics insider Casey Magnuson. We have 3 top 15 teams here, as well as some ACC implications for Stanford and Cal, and a lot of familiarity from these West Coast schools. Casey, what can we expect to see from each of these squads?
Well, it is going to be a jam-packed night. 4 teams in Maples. We have not seen it yet this season. It's going to be a circus, but everyone is looking to do their best. Cal is coming off of a season high last week. They had a 197.775, really flirting with that 198 number. It was the most complete meet they have had this season. They dealt with an injury that was really tough to watch, but they bounced back on floor, and I think they're going to want to continue that momentum into this meet. For Stanford, they're coming off of a strong meet against Clemson. It is across the country. They perform well, just shy of 197. They need to keep going. They can add a home meet to their NQS, and they're going to want to put up a big number. For Oregon State, last week was just okay. They can do a lot better than that. They need to channel some of that home meet energy here at Stanford, but they're going to need to put up some new routines because Jake Carey is out. Lastly, we've got UC Davis. They didn't start off this season the strongest, but the last 4 weeks they have been climbing and climbing. Last week was a season high. They were just shy of 196. It's starting to get to that point where if they don't put up more numbers like that, they're not going to have a chance to make postseason, and that's something this Davis team can do if they keep putting these meets together.
A lot on the line here tonight, both physically and mentally, as we head further into the season, looking ahead to postseason. The Cardinal 8-1 overall coming into this. California Golden Bears 12-2, Oregon State 10-5 on the year, and the Aggies from UC Davis 7-11. This is a quad meet, like we've said, so it is the double dual format like we see in the NCAA postseason. So we will see, starting off in Olympic order, Stanford the home team. Bars will start with Cal. Davis will start on the beam, and Oregon State will start on the floor. So vault and bars will start first, as they usually do. Beam and floor will wait just a little bit, and they will start next. So we're going to see routines on more than one apparatus at the same time. So lots of gymnastics coming our way.
Exactly. This new format has been great, especially for those of us watching at home, because we don't have to miss any routines. We don't need that quad box. At most, we're going to see 2 athletes going at a time. You know, somehow it always works out that there's a lull. I don't know why. It's just the way things work. But for the most part, it should be back-to-back-to-back gymnastics coming at you.
The split screen is our best friend this evening. We don't want to miss a thing, and thanks to our producers and our crew, we're not going to, hopefully. There's so much to see. And the ACC implications I want to call out specifically, too, with Stanford and Cal. You know, right now, Stanford 4-1, Cal 4-0. So if Cal were to win this one, they would be able to take the ACC championship in the regular season outright. If Stanford wins, then it's all going to depend on when Cal goes and competes against North Carolina. And then if they were to beat them, there may be some co-championship action between these 2 Bay Area schools for the ACC. But a lot of things have to fall in line. They're going to have to take things one routine at a time.
Oh, and in gymnastics, the win-loss records don't always really feel like they matter, but tonight is one of those nights where it really does. Like you said, this could determine who wins that regular season ACC championship. When we last saw Stanford at Cal, it was neck and neck. It took it down to the last routine. These teams have a very strong, friendly rivalry, I'll say. It's gymnastics. We're still very nice here, but they want to win, and I think seeing Cal across the bay, it's going to be a little more difficult for them than if they were home. This is their chance.
Mostly friendly. We'll put it that way, right? And last time, yes, in Berkeley, a walk-off perfect 10 from Maya Lazan really put the Bears over the top. And this time, Stanford getting to do it on their home territory, along with some familiar West Coast teams with Oregon State, former Pac-12 rival, and then, of course, UC Davis out here in California as well. So for Stanford, the leadoff for vault, Kendra Chang.
Kendra starting off with a Yurchenko full. Nice and clean. You know, Stanford does not have as many 10-0 vaults as Cal does in their lineup, so they need to maximize the efficiency and cleanliness of these Yurchenko foals. Across the nation, I've seen these foals go a lot higher than I think last season they were rewarded. If you can have a great landing and great body position, it can rival those 1.5s any day.
Speaking of rivals, here for the Golden Bears, Maya Lazan, the reigning ACC Gymnast of the Week.
You know, we're used to seeing Maya in the anchor, but she's been leading off this bars rotation, adding that Van Leeuwen this season, very clean. It's taken away that half pirouette on the low bar that she could get deducted for last year. And when she nails her dismount like that, you know it's going to be a good Cal lineup.
And they brought the bear. There it is. The Golden Bears represented really nicely here in this crosstown rivalry. And over on beam, taking a look here, Katie Chu for UC Davis.
Starting off with her leap series, you have to hit 180 degrees.
Savannah Miller, the leadoff on floor for the Beavs.
Savannah opens with a big double pike. Katie here finishing with the 1.5. Oh, just slightly under-rotated. You can see she took that step back. Her chest position was nice, but maybe an ounce more power would have got her that stick.
3 of the 4 leadoff routines. Competition in the books here. Up next on vault for Stanford, the freshman Alana Walker getting ready.
Nice combination pass there on the floor from Savannah. And it is a 3 pass to lead them off. We don't see them as much as I would like, but she has more than enough power and endurance to finish with another high double salto, that double back. That's what they want to see in the leadoff here from Oregon State. They're number 10 in the country on floor. It's one of their best events.
A couple of scores trickling in. Kendra Chang, 9.8 for Stanford on vault. Maya Lazan with a 9.9 on bar. She seems to be the 9.9 queen. It's everything feels like it's 9.9 or above.
Absolutely, and then Alana Walker here. Oh, another very clean in the air full. She tried to stick it a little too hard. What you hear the coaches say to their athletes, you can't force the stick, and that's why she took that small hop. She was almost anticipating it a little bit early, didn't let the rotation finish.
The freshman with another vault under her belt. And it's MJ Frazier now for the California Golden Bears.
MJ is so nice on this event. Very clean. You see that half pirouette on the bottom. That's the skill that everyone's trying to take out of their routine because the judges love to deduct. Almost overcast that last one, but she is so strong. She pulled it back, didn't let it face her, comes through with a stick on the double layout. That's 2 in a row for them. That is exactly what they want to be doing with this first rotation.
Sticky situation for the Bears here in Stanford so far. Couple of nice performances to start things off for them. Olivia Buckner now getting ready. Excuse me, Jaden Wakita getting ready to go on beam for UC Davis. Olivia Buckner will be up next on floor for Oregon State. But a 9.775 for Katie Chu to lead off on the beam for Davis, and a 9.875 for Savannah Miller leading off on the floor exercise for the Gym Beavs.
Nice circle there to start. You know, that's a skill that the men do on the pommel horse. I love to see a little circle, or if you're getting real fancy, you might do a flare. And on floor, you see Olivia led off with a Rudy into that straddle jump. You know, there in the middle of her floor routine, Olivia does that round off tuck, which, you know, is something a junior gymnast does, and she only does it to get credit because you have to do both forward and backward skills. She has her difficult front tumbling throughout this routine, has to add in that backward tumbling skill, otherwise she would not start out of a 10-0. She would get a deduction.
Is the pink meet here at Stanford, so you'll see the pink tape on the floor as well as pink sprinkled throughout Maples Pavilion. Brenna Noltz due up next on vault for the Cardinal. 9.7 from Alana Walker. MJ Frazier, back-to-back 9.9s for Cal over on bars.
Brenna's the first 10-0 value, start value vault we're going to see today. She has a full onto the table, back pike off. Has to take a pace backwards. You know, sometimes on those pike vaults, it's easy to leave your chest down on the landing. So while she did take the pace back, she did bring her chest up, which was nice, but still will receive a deduction. That was a little bit larger step than you'd want to take. Of course, you don't want to take any steps, but the larger the step, the larger the deduction.
Annalise Newman-Achi up next on bars for Cal. You see the conversations with Megan Ray over at Beam, who is up next for Davis.
Great routine so far from Annalise. She's, you know, worked hard to get into this lineup. Co-head coach Justin Howell was telling me they have a thing in the gym called the blue light special. And Annalise has been the blue light special. You'll have to drop whatever you're doing, whatever you're training, and you have to go do a routine on the spot. And she's been nailing them, and she's been proving herself, really working on that dismount. Her chest is up, took a step back there, but really beautiful on the bars today.
The Bears continue to roll on as we're now looking at the Aggies over on the beam.
Yes, Megan Ray here. She is great on vault and floor, and also beam. It's a solid routine so far. She's a 3-time national qualifier as an individual.
Specialist of the week back in January 21st for the MPSF.
You can see on that layout series there, she was a little off, but fought really hard. She used her arms to put her in the right position. If you see someone walking the tightrope in a circus, they have those long pole, you'll see, or they're using their arms. It's kind of a counterweight to help you get in the right position, and she used it well here. Finishing off front full, small, hop forward, but a solid routine. It's tough to start on beam, but they're staying on, and it's a good way to start their meet.
Jaden Wakita 9.7 before Megan Ray's performance. Olivia Buckner with the 9.8, and now it's Jennifer McMillan over on floor.
And on the vault here, for the first time in Maples, we're seeing Ui Soma on vault. She's been easing her way into all of the lineups. Last week, debuted with a 9.85. Today, nice. Another solid full from her. Could bring the chest up a little more at the end. But she is someone who just has excellent form across the board in everything she does. Very few built-in deductions, as we say in the biz. Those are the things that you do every time, not the things that happen like the steps.
Uisoma highlighting a strong class, ranked number 7 nationally by College Gym News. She was a 5-star recruit. And Brenna Nolt coming in with a 9.8 before her. Annalise Newman-Achia, 9.85 for Cal over on bars. And now it's time for Ella Cesario.
And Ella has a huge release. She goes to the rafters with that Jaeger. I'm blown away every time. Solid final handstand there. Again, a place where the judges love to deduct. And a little scoot back. They'll still be happy with that routine again. Just that small scoot on the bars though. Cal's form is almost unmatched in the NCAA. I'll say, when Stanford gets there though, they put them up a good fight on bars as far as technique and form goes, but the Bay Area, they know how to do bars up here.
Bay Area bars. We like to see it. And Uisoma coming in with a 9.725 on vault. Awaiting over on beam for Davis is Eleanor Wiley. Meanwhile on floor, Sophia Esposito for the Gym Beeves.
And Sophia opens up with a very difficult combination pass front tuck to a round-off double pike. Usually athletes have a back handspring in there. It helps gain momentum. So to do it straight out of the round-off is super impressive. It's not something we typically see on the women's side. The men are a little more common to do that because they run out of room when they do some of these combination passes. Solid and controlled. Combination leaps there. Very secure in that front layout. I loved her roll up. When a nice front layout goes on the beam, it feels like a slinky. It just kind of oozes into that position. And she finishes with a stick. That's a great momentum builder for this UC Davis team on beam.
Aggies are fired up. Her teammates giving her high fives all around. And Jennifer McMillan, the 9.775 as Sophia Esposito finishes up her floor routine. Megan Ray with a 9.725 for Davis on beam before Eleanor Wiley. Uisoma, 9.725 vault. Ella Cesario, 9.875 on bars for Cal. And Paula Gutierrez now on vault for the card.
Again, just a small scoot back for the card on vault. AP is so consistent for them. Over on bars, we're looking at Maddie Williams. She has some of the cleanest gymnastics you will see. Beautiful toe point, beautiful lines. Keeps her feet together in that Van Leeuwen. Hits the handstand. Gorgeous double A to a stick. It was so floaty. And she is shimmying for that stick. Getting the bear head for their six. You know, I talked to Justin Howell, and he said they don't want the bear head unless they really feel like they stuck. They are keeping it to a point where you have to earn it.
Yeah. Maddie Williams doing a great job and doing just that. Nothing below a 9.85 for Cal so far on the bars. We'll see if Maddie can continue that momentum. Over on floor, Sage Thompson for Oregon State. 9.80 for Ana Paula Gutierrez on vault, by the way, for Stanford.
You know, if gymnastics wasn't hard enough, why not start your routine upside down to already get you a little twisted and turned? But Sage can handle it. She is so strong, so powerful, but also very beautiful. The gymnastics she does just has that elegance to it. And over here on beam, we have Amelia Moneymaker. she has been a rock star for this UC Davis team.
A moneymaker, would you say?
I would say so. Anytime you can hit multiple 9.9s, you don't see 9.9s like the way she is putting them up from a team in the 50s. Last week she had 3 9.9s, an all-around score, 39.4. It is incredible.
A 3-time Gymnast of the Week in the MPSF as well so far this season.
And you could just see so relaxed, so confident on the beam there. That's what allows you as an all-arounder to really hit 4 routines in a row. It's a lot of gymnastics to do.
9.8 coming in for Eleanor Wiley before Amelia Moneymaker. 9.825 for Sofia Esposito on floor. And then look who it is, the anchor on vault, Anna Roberts, reigning national champion.
And they're going to need her. Stanford has not been putting up the vault scores they have wanted to. Haven't broken past the 9.8. If there's anyone you want to pull up the scores at the end of a lineup, it's Anna Roberts, 2024 national champion on this event. Huge 1.5, almost gets the stick. The difference between her hop and what we saw from Anna Paula was that hers went slightly forward, and the judges like to see that. It shows more power, more control. You're in the right position.
Casey Brown, the anchor for Cal on bars.
And that last handstand was great. That's the one place where we see Casey maybe not hitting her routine, but she was right on top of the bar and does that unique dismount where you can see the ground almost the whole time. I love that dismount in college because it is something that people can stick consistently, and she does.
Let's just call them the California Golden Bars at this point. A great job by Casey Brown. And then we're looking at the floor now for Oregon State. Caitlin Garcia getting ready, and on beam it'll be Ayumi Oshiro for UC Davis.
Next up, of course, is Oregon State, Caitlin Garcia.
Caitlin starts off with her combination pass. Oftentimes you'll see gymnasts either have that as their second or third pass. It's something that's more of a finesse combination than power, so athletes like to use their energy while they're fresh at the beginning, but she saves that difficulty for the end.
Oshiro getting started over on beam.
Finishing off with that double tuck, like I said, she does it in the reverse order of what you see from a lot of these 2-pass routines. Gets her a little extra bonus. Strong finish. Really great lines on that layout step out. You know, in the back handspring and that layout step out, you want to see extension through the knees, straight knees, pointed toes, and a wide split. She does a great job there. Standing gainer layout again. Really pretty gymnastics here from Ayumi. You can see why she's in this anchor position. Does it again. So she meant to connect that first one straight into that split jump. She didn't make the connection. Went back, redid it so she can make sure she has that for her start failure.
Exhibition on bars from Mickey Adorinto as well for Cal.
And Mickey has been in this lineup a few weeks. That double front is maybe the one place where it's not a for sure stick. And when Cal has all of those amazing dismounts and routines, you've got to be able to show week in and week out that you can hit not just on the bars, but on the landing. But a beautiful routine nonetheless from Mickey Adorinto. And the same on beam from Ayumi.
Some final scores here, as we will have an exhibition by Terrelyn Wynn on vault for Stanford. But Anna Roberts with the 9.9 in the anchor position. Casey Brown, the 9.9 on uneven bars for Cal. Caitlin Garcia, 9.875 on floor.
Terrelyn there with that 1.5. You can see she has so much power. She's vaulting up onto the 8-inch mat. I talk about it every week because I still can't believe it. Just the question is the control. Like I said earlier, those clean Yurchenko fulls have been scoring higher than a messy 1.5 with a step. So Tabitha, you know, I saw Terrelyn was in the lineup earlier. They swapped her out based off of warm-ups, I think. But they're going to want her to be in for postseason. Needs to get more experience under her belt of sticking that vault.
Nothing replaces experience, and Jihan Punja, we're going to see her get some of that as well on balance beam for UC Davis with her exhibition. By the way, I mentioned earlier, can Maddie Williams continue this momentum for Cal, by the way, in that 5 spot? 9.95. I think the answer is yes for that one. Good segue into Casey Brown's anchor performance. And then Sage Thompson, same thing, 9.85, leading into Caitlin Garcia's anchor performance for Oregon State on floor. Still waiting on a couple of final scores on the beam from Davis as we get ready for Punja's exhibition.
Yeah, right now what I'm looking at over my shoulder here is the judges are having a conference. This happens when, you know, the scores are too far apart, start values might not be matching, up to that head judge's discretion. You know, she went back and redid that combination of that standing layout into that split jump. What I'm guessing here is one judge gave her credit for that second one judge didn't. It still had a little bit of wobble in that second attempt. So I see a start value of a 9.8 on one side. I can't see the other.
And first rotation scores, California leading the way with a 49.525 performance on the bars. Stanford 49.025 on vault. Oregon State edging them out a bit on floor with a 49.225, and of course waiting for those final scores to tally up for UC Davis. So as it stands right now, the order is number 5 Cal, number 12 Oregon State, number 14 Stanford. Like they drew it up that way in the rankings coming into this week.
And Cal came out exactly with what they needed to. They want to hit 198. They haven't said that, but I know they want to hit 198. And to do that, you need to average 49.5 across all 4 events. They are matching that pace. Of course, bars is a place where they excel. We would hope that they would hit that there. But that's exactly the lead off they want in this quad meet.
Something about that Cal-Stanford rivalry that brings the best out of each other as well. Season high totals at the time for both teams. Cal with the 197.550, Stanford 197.4 in Berkeley.
And on beam here, a beautiful triple series there from Jihan. It was really flighty, easy breezy. Great split position. Does that double stag ring. So you have to release the head back. It makes it so much more difficult than it looks. Honestly, just stand on your floor at home, try looking up quickly at the ceiling and look back down. You might bobble. Now imagine doing that on, you know, a beam, jumping, having hundreds of people watch you.
We should have a quote-unquote normal person right next to him trying to do the same thing just to show the difference. Just how difficult these skills are.
Gainer full, a little bit pikes there. That's what led to that hop back. But that was a really great routine and exhibition.
And the final scores are in for Amelia Moneymaker, the 9.550 on the beam. Ayumi Oshiro coming in with a 9.450 after the judges' conversation. So they will end the first rotation with 48.550 as a group. So Cal, Oregon State, Stanford, Davis so far. That's the order, one rotation in. Thoughts on what we've seen so far, Casey?
Well, like I said, Cal came out guns blazing. They are hungry for that regular season title. Stanford, really what was missing was the sticks. And when we've seen Stanford at their best this year, it is when they are hitting sticks. They are capable of that, especially on bars and beam. They need to pick the pace up on this next rotation. For Davis, they had a really strong rotation going there, but just at the very end, their last two ones kind of faltered. And Oregon State, even without Jade Carey, strong on the floor.
And we'll move forward to the next rotation coming up next. One is in the books. Stanford moving along as the home team with Olympic order. They'll be on bars. Cal moving to beam. UC Davis will move to floor. And then Oregon State will go to the vault. So we'll see you in just a couple minutes back for the quad meet with these four studs.
Talent, and that often is a place where you can put up those high numbers.
The vault underway here for Oregon State. Natalie Briones starting things off. Take a look at the bars, and it's AP Gutierrez for Stanford.
Great routine so far for Anna Paula. Good handstands. She's going to be the pace setter for this team. Small hop back, but a solid start. Again, they need to start getting sticky if they want to keep up with what Cal has been doing this meet so far.
AP tied her season high on bars with a 9.875 against Clemson. Now over on floor, Ava Ryko.
Ava starts with that front tuck through the double back. And on the balance beam, we have Ella Cesario. She's one of those all-arounders for Cal. They have quite a few in their lineups. You know, they say we're not trying to put up a lot of all-arounders. It's just they're really good.
4 all-arounders for the Cal Bears today, 2 for Stanford and 1 each for Davis and Oregon State.
Very strong start from Ella. Small hop forward. They'll take that momentum.
Back over on vault, we have Jennifer McMillan getting ready for the Jim Beeves, a 9.775 from Natalie Briones before her. And Paula Gutierrez with the 9.8 on bars, leading the way for Kendra Chang.
Another clean Yurchenko in the air, but with that hop back. You know, we're at that point in the season where these teams don't just want to stick these pulls, they need to start sticking them. Kendra here, she's been, you know, mostly in the lineup, sometimes swapping around. It's a tough lineup to break into. Quick on that half pirouette on the bottom, maybe just shy. Double layout, ooh, holds onto it. You can see her knees buckle there. Sometimes when you get surprised by the ground, it's really easy on those double outs for you just to plop down to your knees before you even have a second to react, but she was strong there to make sure she stayed up. Same with Maddie Williams here on the beam. She was fighting for that wolf turn.
9.875 from Cesario before her. Getting ready on floor, Eleanor Wiley for UC Davis.
Again, like I talked about earlier, she's not shy about using those arms aggressively to put her in the right position. The beam can smell fear. Finishing off with a gainer full. That's the stick they were looking for.
The bear head is back. Co-head coaches Justin Howell and Liz Crandall Howell right in the mix there with these athletes. Super excited to see them thrive. Here's Eleanor Wiley on floor. Olivia Buckner over on vault for the Jim Beeves after a 9.675 from Jennifer McMillan.
You know, these Yurchenko pulls, they've all looked pretty good in the air from both Stanford and Oregon State, but the landings are not there. And if there's one thing the judges are never shy to deduct, it is landings. We say sometimes we feel like the judges only deduct landings and handstands is kind of the saying. So you can't give those away. Eleanor here on her last pass, front tuck through the double pike. Very difficult ending pass.
Eleanor wraps up her routine. Ava Ryko before her with the 9.7 on the floor exercise. Waiting on Maddie Williams' score after a 9.875 leadoff from Ella Cesario on the balance beam for Cal. Kendra Chang for Stanford, 9.750 on the uneven bars. Olivia Buckner's vault score has also come in, 9.675 for the Jim Beeves. Brenna Nolt now getting started, the senior, one of the leaders on this Stanford team over on the uneven bars.
You saw on the right of your screen during that floor routine, they've been waiting for a while on this beam, so we'll see what MJ can do when she finally gets the green light. But Brenna up now, great bars worker. That is what you want to see from a half pirouette on the low bar. It was right above. She finishes the half pirouette before she goes past vertical. Double tuck here and gets the stick.
We've talked about the bear head, but let's talk about the stick over for Stanford. The freshmen pick it out every week, and they picked, it's more like a tree at this point, a tree trunk almost.
They maybe went to the redwoods to get something, because this is, I think it is a full trunk. It's more than a stick.
There's a branch on that. I mean, let's be real.
That is a branch, a stick branch.
MJ Frazier, Regional Gymnast of the Year for WCGA last year, over on beam. Ayumi Oshiro getting going on floor for the Aggies.
Strong routine so far from MJ. She is a veteran. Finishing off, stuck 1.5. Continuing that momentum from Maddie. You know, those judges were conferencing for a while. I don't know what they were talking about. Because Maddie, they ended up with a 9875 for Maddie. Maybe like, was it good, or like really, really good? What do you think?
Well, I don't know. Did the Bears bring some honey with them this weekend? Because it's been really sticky over there everywhere they go.
It's very possible. You know,
Getting ready on vault, Sophia Esposito for Oregon State.
Sophia here, another Yurchenko fall. Deep knee bend, but she did give me what I've been asking for. She kept those feet glued to the mat. Our first vault stick of the day.
And there are the Beavs.
I guess the Beavers brought their chainsaws,
They
so
did.
Stanford had to give a little bit more of a stick to make sure there
It's a
wasn't
little
any.
awkward now. Yeah, now we have the chainsaw, we have the wood with the stick. We'll see how this goes. But Brenna Noltz with the 9-9 on bars helps the Cardinals' efforts here.
Yeah, that's what they need, especially for this team. Bars and beam is their bread and butter. It is what we know Stanford for. Ava Sorrento here to continue that momentum, hopefully.
Over on beam, Abby Scanlon for Cal.
Good last handstand for Ava. Just needs to stick. That's what they're looking for. She's amped.
Hear the most cheers here in the Bay Area from the Stanford fans, but the Cal contingent also making some noise, just coming across the bay for this one tonight.
And Abby has impressed me this season. She came in, has not competed her entire career. Her first competitive routine, 9-9. She was, you know, in that last spot, which Cal sometimes likes to use as a little mixer changer. You know, who were we feeling at the last minute? But she has earned her way into this lineup permanently, well, for the moment at least, and has been delivering. And once again, she delivered with a stick.
Does it again. Megan Ray also on the floor for Davis, but a moment for Abby Scanlon there.
And the back half of this Davis floor lineup is great. Like I said, Megan Ray and Kiana Abraham have both qualified to nationals on floor previously. So much power here.
Before Megan, Ayumi Oshiro with a 9.725. On vault, Caitlin Garcia for Oregon State.
1.5. That small hop forward, but very controlled hop there.
A 9.775 for Sophia Esposito before Caitlin Garcia. We'll see what her score comes in as.
Another combination through to double back. I'd like to see this difficult, powerful tumbling from UC Davis.
On the beam, Maya is on after some conversation there with her coaches. Abby Scanlon with that 9.9 right before her. Ava Sorrento, a 9.875 on the bars. And now it's time for Anna Roberts on that end.
And this is a split screen to dream of. Just two of the best athletes in the NCAA. Both so good on each of these events.
Both on the ACC preseason watch list for a reason.
A stuck double layout with a perfectly controlled triple series. We're just blessed to see this gymnastics tonight.
Anna Roberts with the Gymnast of the Week and Specialist of the Week honors this season in the ACC. Lausanne has 4 Gymnast of the Week honors this year in the ACC. First year in the conference for both squads.
Just the dismount left here for Maya. She has a knack of sticking. You know, I think her feet slid a millimeter on that one, but I will say what I loved about that is her chest was up. And sometimes my one nitpick of Maya Lausanne, who can go 10 on beam any day, is she leaves her chest down on the dismount, but not today. That was picture perfect, except for the millimeter slide.
Kiana Abraham for Davis on floor. And over on vault, Sage Thompson for Oregon State.
Huge double layout for Kiana Abraham. Just so floaty, so much control.
A lot of noise for both of these. Sage Thompson had the Jim Beeves fired up with that vault. Abraham getting the Aggies fans going.
And I think you have to do that, especially as a away team. One of the reasons, at least my hypothesis of why teams do so well at home, yes, they're comfortable there, it's their home field advantage, but when you have the crowds behind you, it's a subjective sport. The judges feel that excitement. So anytime you're on the road and you can recreate it, that's gonna help.
Over on beam, Ondina Champong.
Speaking of excitement, Ondine is one of the gymnasts everyone has been excited to see. She came in with an injury, has been working back really smart. They have been very careful to ease her in. She debuted counting lineup first time last weekend. So solid. She changed up that first combination at the beginning. She has so much difficulty. She had 9/10 of bonus, just like, you know, playing around there. I can't believe she fell on that side aerial. Last week she did a ring, switch ring to a ring. This week they played it a little safer, just a ring to a split, but fell off on that acro piece there.
Ui Soma over on bars for the Cardinal. The anchor, the freshman taking that spot.
Another freshman with an elite pedigree. Ui is almost superhuman on the bars. She hits that handstand like that every single time. I've never seen anyone as consistently hit perfectly vertical than her. Double layout, small, small, small hop.
Solid landings there from both the Cardinal and the Bears. Sage Thompson, by the way, 9.825, the anchor for vault. Because we're waiting on the scores, the anchors on bars and beam for the Cardinal and Bears, respectively. 9.825 on floor from Kiana Abraham, and the anchor, Amelia Moneymaker, looking to live up to her name. Exhibition from Savannah Miller on vault for Oregon State.
Unique vault there again, similar to Brenna Nolt's vault. She does the full on, but she does the tuck off. You could see that misdirection a little to the side. That's Very common in those vaults where you're twisting onto the table. So strong on that opening pass from Amelia. She has a Rudy into that layout step out.
We'll see an exhibition on beam from Cal as well with Annalise Numanacci.
You know, in the preseason, the coaches were saying that Annalise was working hard and she was pushing this team to be better because she was knocking on the door of many lineups, and she's still there. Could go into this beam lineup. She's been in and out. She, you know, is in that bars lineup. Control there from Amelia. Landed right on the edge of that mat, actually, so she did a good job of bringing her chest up. When just your heels are on, it can almost push you forward even if you're not under-rotated, but she worked through it, was patient, finished strong.
Next up, I need a ball for Stanford, Sienna Robinson.
Sienna Robinson, we're looking at her exhibition on bars for Stanford, who finished this rotation 49.325. Golden Bears still leading, even including the fall on beam at the 49.450. They were able to drop that score, waiting on Numanacci's exhibition score, as well as Amelia Moneymaker's anchor performance on floor for Davis.
Nice so far from Sienna. We haven't seen her on the bars yet this year. I saw her before the meet. I said, oh, you've got grips on today. She's another one that's been working really hard in the postseason, and that was a stellar exhibition and a stick.
Her energy unmatched, especially here in Maples Pavilion. And the exhibition from Savannah Miller on vault at the 9-7. Annalise Numanacci now on the beam for Cal to wrap up the exhibitions here in the second rotation.
There have been a lot of conferences today on the beam.
Beam really the most mentally taxing apparatus.
Absolutely. You know, the skills they're doing on beam, of course they're difficult, but at their face value are things they have been able to do for a very long time. It is truly a battle of mental strength and consistency. You see there, she had just let that shoulder drop 1 inch too low, and that's all it takes on beam. But comes back with a stick.
And one more exhibition coming up, actually, ladies and gents. Sophia Pujols on floor for UC Davis, the daughter of Albert Pujols, longtime MLB stud, veteran, one of the funnest, most fun players to see play, especially if you're an Angels fan like myself when he spent some time on that team.
Front tuck through to, looks like a layout timer there. Double tuck. for that wolf turn. Holds on to it.
Couple more exhibition scores coming in. Sienna Robinson a 9.875 on the bars. Annalise Numanacci a 9.6. And Sophia Pujols still waiting on evaluation. But after the first two rotations, Cal in the lead at 98.975 overall. Stanford behind them with 98.350. Oregon State in that third spot, 98.150. And then UC Davis, 97.525. What are we looking to see in these last two rotations now that we're halfway through, Casey?
Well, they got to keep the momentum up, of course. You know, Stanford did a good job of turning things around on the bars. It wasn't their best bar lineup, but it was good enough to keep them ahead of Oregon State, who is nipping at their heels. Oregon's going to bars. They're going to want to bring the heat. And Cal just needs to keep doing what they've been doing. You know, that beam lineup, 9875, 9875, 9875, it was just hit after hit after hit. If they can keep that energy going into these last two rotations, they're going to be flirting with a 198.
They're in the lead right now. After two rotations in the books, we have a couple more coming up. So for rotation 3, going to vault is UC Davis. On the bars will be Oregon State. Stanford will move to the beam, and Cal on the floor exercise. We'll take a quick break as all the athletes get ready for the next apparatus, and we'll be back in a couple minutes. Back at it here in Maples Pavilion for the quad meet here at Stanford. Jenna Becerra alongside Casey Magnuson. And a few different conferences represented here tonight with these 4 teams. 3 of them, however, in the same conference just last year, Stanford, Cal, and Oregon State in the former Pac-12, but that's changed a bit as the Cardinal and the Bears have moved to the ACC. Conference realignment, part of this new era of collegiate athletics.
Yeah, it's been very interesting to see. Of course, these teams know each other and they like competing against each other. All these Pac-12, former Pac-12 teams have been across the board, still seeing their friends, competing a lot on the West Coast. And part of that, especially with the ACC, to help alleviate the travel is the teams have a regional partner. So Cal and Stanford, they're buddies. And unfortunately, that means they have to go against each other twice. For this regular season championship that we talked about, you have to have 6 meets counting towards your win-loss record. They're chosen ahead of time, and 2 of those 6 have to be against your buddies. So unfortunately, Cal and Stanford, who are the top 2 teams coming into the season, throughout this season so far, they have to compete against each other twice.
Yep. Cal picked in the preseason coaches poll to win the ACC. Stanford right behind them in that second spot. The reigning champions, NC State, in that third slot in the ACC landscape. And right now, we're getting ready for this third rotation already. Starting on vault for UC Davis is Ava Ryko. Taylor DeVries over on bars for Oregon State.
Uchenko full there on vault from Ava. Nice pirouette on the low bar. Again, I always call it out because that is a spot that is consistently getting evaluated very harshly. Same with the landings, but she hit both of those well. And what that tells me is it's gonna be a good leadoff score for Oregon State.
Nice routine from Taylor DeVries, and over on beam, it's the leadoff Claire Dean for Stanford.
And speaking of strong leadoffs, Claire is that athlete for Stanford. She has the potential to lead them off on all 4 events. We've mostly seen her in on beam and floor this season. Like I said, the lineups are getting deeper and tougher to make, but a place where I can count on Claire is this leadoff position on beam.
Leadoff on floor for Cal, Kyan Mayhew, who we also know has some fantastic hair. Might be tough to see in the split box that we have tonight, but her braids on the back of her head actually spells out the word Bears, which is incredibly impressive. And we did learn who deserves that credit, Mickey.
Yeah, Mickey Adorito has her own salon, I guess you could call it. She does most of the team's hair. They have to sign up for slots to make sure they can get it in. Some people even had to get their hair done yesterday, so they had time.
A woman in demand. So as Mayhew is underway on floor, Eleanor Wiley gets ready on the vault for UC Davis. 9.675 for Ryko before her.
Strong start for Kyan there. That was a nicely controlled Yurchenko tucked full. You'll notice we mostly see layout fulls. You can also twist in the tuck position. It's less common.
Temple Landry getting ready for Stanford over on balance beam after 9.825 from the leadoff Claire Dean.
Strong and powerful on that Barani at the end of her combination pass. Getting the Bears started right.
All the leadoff performances in the books as Mayhew wraps it up on floor.
Very secure there from Temple. She is an athlete that just has the most gorgeous lines, beautiful flexibility, as you can see in those leaps. You'll see it again here on this scale.
Natalie Briones on bars for the Jim Beeves. 9.875 from Taylor DeVries before her.
And a stick. Oh, almost gets a stick there.
Near back-to-back sticks, almost just a few seconds apart. Eleanor Wiley awaits on vault for the Aggies. But check that, Jaden Wakita, Eleanor Wiley were waiting on her score to come in. Jaden Wakita now getting ready to compete. And on floor, Jordan Kane for the Bears.
And Jordan has been out of the lineup. She had a slight injury the past few weeks. This is our first time seeing her back. That was the strongest vault I think we've seen so far from UC Davis. Action keeps going. Ashley Carter here on beam. Another one who can put up a big score. We haven't seen a lot of her in the past, but this season she has been doing great for the Stanford card on beam.
Temple Landry brought in the 9.875 for Stanford in the 2 spot.
Like I said, the judges are looking at landings. If you don't hit your landing, it's not going to be up near that 9.9 mark or close to it. Strong series there from Ashley. Jordan worked through that combination pass. It wasn't perfect, but like a veteran, she made it work for her.
Kyan Mayhew, 9.875 in the lead off, giving way to Jordan Kane.
Ashley fighting through there, almost wobbling after that leap combination, but we'll see what the judges do with it. Oh.
Savannah Miller on bars for Oregon State. Natalie Briones, a 9.825 in the previous routine.
You know, there's been a few glitches in this routine, nothing that you could necessarily pick on too much, but we'll see again how harshly the judges are evaluating on the bars versus the landing.
Amelia Moneymaker over on vault.
See, I really like that Yurchenko full. She has a great square block. And when I say square, that means it's straight up and down the vault runway, not twisted. Gets a lot of height, waits for the twist. She just needs to dial in that landing, but everything in the air was really technically sound.
Maddie Williams on floor for the Bears. 9.8 from Jaden Wakita on the vault for the Aggies. Brenna Noltz looking to follow up on Ashley Carter's 9.8 beam performance.
And a big opening pass there from Maddie. She has improved that Rudy a lot this year. Last season, I didn't always make it, I would say, 100% around on the twist, but much bigger this year. And Brenna works through that series so effortlessly. She just has a calm lightness to her gymnastics, especially on beam. Finishing strong there from Maddie Williams. Let's see if Brenna can match with her own strong ending. They need to start putting up the 9.9s if they want to stay in the hunt. Oh, and she delivered.
The stick's gonna help with that for Brenna Noltz. Cardinal nipping at the heels of the Bears right now. Over on the bars, Savannah Miller with the 9.8, and now it's Francesca Casso. Amelia Moneymaker, the 9.8 as well on vaults, giving way to Megan Ray for Davis.
Also stretching for that Van Leeuwen. Megan Ray gets a stick, followed by a stick on bars. That's what we like to see.
Back-to-back sticks. We will take that all day long here in Maples Pavilion. Megan Ray, Francesca Casso making things exciting. There it is once again. The chainsaw coming out for the Jim Beeves. But Anna Roberts now on the beam for the Cardinal coming up.
And I'm interested to see where the scoring goes on that last routine on both bars and vault. Like I said, the judges are sometimes judging landings. Those two could go very high.
Well, a high at 9.925 for Brenna Noltz on beam and a 9.9 for Maddie Williams on floor. Now it's Ella Cesario's turn.
Watch this first pass from Ella Cesario. It is an upgrade this season. It is a huge full twisting double back. She's getting better with that each week, more control. That was a good adjustment there from Anna. Almost had too much momentum in her series. You know, she is a true all-arounder, great everywhere, but if there's one place that she's not the most consistent, it is here on beam. Wasn't in the lineup last week, back here now.
Roberts and Nolt, the two all-around competitors for the Cardinal.
Just the dismount. Oh, not quite there. And Ella just a little off on that combination pass there. Didn't have enough rotation. You saw that stumble, little step back. The judges could hit her pretty hard on that one.
Back over on vault, it's Kiana Abraham, but the Aggies were also fired up for Megan Ray's 9.9 performance right before this. They're right in front of us right now where we're sitting at the broadcast table, and they were so excited for her as Abraham will now take her turn.
Kiana has a big 1.5. Oh my goodness, that is a stick.
Once again, the Aggies going crazy over here on vault. The anchor, Kiana Abraham, with the stick. And Sage Thompson looking to anchor things over on the bars for Oregon State.
You know, that vault, I'm still not over it. I hope the judges reward her for that because it was so well performed, so well stuck.
Hannah Roberts brought the 9.85 on beam.
She's fighting to hold control. You know, the stick rules are you have to show control for 1,000, 1,000.
Yep. Fighting through it as the anchor, and Sienna Robinson, the anchor now on beam for Stanford.
Easy breezy.
She has seemed so confident this season. Calm, cool, collected, but still with a lot of energy.
Oh, and again, I talk about the arms and the shoulders. You could see her front shoulder just dipping down. She knew she wasn't going to make the connection, so she stopped there to avoid any more deductions. Goes back, redoes that series. That is going to really hinder her ability to put up a big score today, though. Fortunately, they have some good scores in the hopper, not a disaster. She didn't fall.
MJ Frazier getting going with her first pass on floor.
And MJ's brought back the double layout. We love to see the difficulty. Last week she had a small issue on her combination pass, so watch out for that today to see how she handles it this week.
9.825 from Ella Cesario before her. And there's Robinson.
Trying to erase that small mistake in the middle.
We'll see an exhibition from every single program on these events as well, but a couple of key routines still to be finished.
Much better this week on the combination pass for MJ.
Alana Kim on vault for the Aggies.
And if we look back to that vault from Kiana Abraham, she went 9.95.
Oh yeah. Aggies getting better and better from one to the next on vault. 49.2 in this rotation. And then Sienna Robinson coming in with the 9.775 on beam for Stanford. Carly Beeman, the exhibition on the bars for Oregon State, with Portia Trinidad on the beam for the Cardinal.
First up on the bars with the Stanford exhibition, Portia Trinidad.
Solid routine here. This is actually Sage Thompson closing out the lineup with a stick. Very strong for Oregon State. You know, you wouldn't know that they were missing Jade unless you were looking for it, because these routines, these lineups have felt very complete. It's actually impressive to see Oregon putting up full lineups plus exhibitions even without their star.
And they'll end with a 49.175 on the bars in this rotation. MJ Frazier with that 9.875. Maya Lazan, the anchor on the floor. She's been known to give a perfect 10.
She has in many different places, but her first 10 on floor was this season. And Portia came through with a really good exhibition. They are amped up for that.
And the Cardinal end with a 49.275 on the beam. Alana Kim, the 9.65 performance in the exhibition on vault for the Aggies. All eyes on Maya Lazan.
Combination pass, difficult twisting skills connected, no problem for Maya. There's a reason she's one of the best in the biz.
A solid anchor performance from one of the leaders on this Bears squad. 49.3 now update for Oregon State in their uneven bars rotation. And we will have an exhibition from CJ Kanicki on floor from Cal. But first, it's Carly Beeman on the bars for Oregon State.
You can see her grasp there on that Maloney just wasn't enough. She took an extra swing in the middle. That is a deduction. Beautiful Stalder position there before her double tuck. Gets the stick. That was a good fight back. Sometimes when you miss those connections, it's almost impossible to get your rhythm back. Bars is an event that really has very little wiggle room for error. If you lose your rhythm or your connections, you almost have to start over from the beginning sometimes, but she fought through and made it to that stuck dismount.
And a 9.875 for Portia Trinidad in her exhibition on the beam. CJ Kanicki now with hers on floor. 49.425 is where Cal will end this rotation on floor, leading the way.
Front double full, front pike, out of bounds there. You know, it was out of bounds, but I will say for CJ, that was one of her more controlled passes. Sometimes that pike can go a little askew, but today it was right on line, just a little long. Franny straddle. So much momentum, almost carried her back again.
Last exhibition in the books here in rotation number 3. Carly Beeman with the 9.225 on the bars. And after this third one, Cal still leading the way. They're the only squad to break 148. 148.4, Stanford behind them with a 147.625. Oregon State right on their heels, 147.450, and then UC Davis 146.725. But the best rotations of the day so far from both the Beavs and the Aggies, a 49.3 performance on vault and a 49.2, or on bars, excuse me, and a 49.2 on vault for UC Davis. So a nice way to sort of build up throughout this meet.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that 49.2 for Davis on vault is a massive number for them and for any team that's close to them in the rankings. And it was highlighted by that incredible stuck 1.5 from Kiana Abraham. There is a reason she's made the postseason 3 years in a row, and I expect to see her there again this year.
One more rotation left. The Cardinal will end things on the floor. Oregon State will be on the beam, Davis on the bars, and Cal on the vault. When we come back in a couple minutes, we'll take a break as they warm up.
I talked about how Cal and Stanford are buddies in their conference. Oregon State is alone. They are the only Pac-12 team this season.
Yep.
You know, next year they're going to join the Big 12 as an affiliate for one season, and then in 2027 they're coming back to back the pack as they relaunch the Pac-12 with some new teams.
Getting started quickly on bars. McKenna Connect will lead things off for Davis, and then for Cal, Maddie Williams on the vault.
Starting with 2 small steps back from both teams. Like I said, it's really looking like coming down to landings a lot of the time. It's tough to finish on vaults. It's not what you're used to, but this is going to be good practice for them for postseason. That's what everyone's looking at with all of these multiple team meets.
Claire Dean leading off on floor for Stanford. Sophia Esposito leading off on beam for Oregon State. And that's something that Tanya Chaplin told us as well. Just this is preparing us for the postseason. They've played a lot of competed in a lot of quads this year against some top teams, back-to-back quads, 3 top 20 teams in them for Oregon State. So not afraid to be battle-tested before going into that postseason run.
Absolutely.
A 9.8 for Maddie Williams leading off for Cal on vault.
You know, we see here that Claire's music, we were waiting to start. Honestly, I think this was probably harder for Sophia on the beam because there's nothing harder than a silent room to do beam to. But she's handled it well. Great flight series. Double full, almost gets the landing. Claire Dean there, starting off with that Rudy. She does it out of what I call a Tensika. People notice it looks a little weird. It doesn't look like a normal front handspring, but it is a skill. She's not deducted for that.
Can it connect to 9.075 on the bars for Davis. Kyan Mayhew on vault for Cal.
Oh, very under on that 1.5. Just did not have enough power at all. Unusual for Kyan.
A rare miscue for the Golden Bears. Sophia Esposito, 9.875 to lead off beam for Oregon State as Claire Dean wraps it up on floor.
And you know what I did notice in the warm-up for Cal, they were a little out of sorts. You know, someone started running before the timer had started, so they had to kind of reset quickly and change out who was going to warm up first. So maybe that's sticking with them. Maybe sometimes you feel a little too good going into that last rotation, you relax, but they cannot let up. Because Oregon State here, starting off with a 9.875 on beam, continuing with Olivia Buckner.
And Jaden Wakita on bars for UC Davis. Aggies excited there. As a 9.85 comes in for Claire Dean on the floor for Stanford. So all scores in for the leadoffs.
Finishes strong. She had that mistake in the middle, almost fell off. Did some, we'll say gymnastics if it wasn't gymnastics, to stay on the beam.
And Ashley Carter now on floor for the Cardinal. Ella Cesario getting ready on vault after a 9.3 from Kyan Mayhew with the stumble on the landing.
Fought for that landing. That's the momentum they need back.
Cesario trying to pump up the Bears here. As Lauren Lech gets ready for the balance beam, taking some deep breaths with her teammates.
The crowd is going up for that routine from Ashley Carter. And you know, I was watching in front of me with that fall. I'm keeping my eyes on the Cal vault lineup. I saw the coaches talking to some athletes. We'll see if they switch them out or not. They have been known to put in a safe Yurchenko full at the end of the lineup in situations like this. When they know they have a really strong away score going for them, they don't want to risk having another fall. So I'm keeping my eyes peeled to see who might go up. I saw them talking to Casey Brown, but Casey didn't warm up. Casey did not do anything in that one touch. Right now in the line, they have Jaden, who's the exhibition, who does a 1.5. They've got Maya in the lineup, who's been in and out. I'm going to be very interested to see what happens in the back half of this Cal lineup.
Some last minute adjustments here as Lauren Lech will get started over on the balance beam. A 9.8 from Cesario, by the way, a good response on the vault for the Bears with her performance.
Lauren here starting with a front aerial to back tuck. Difficult combination. When you have that front to back, you have to be quick with it.
Gideon on the bars for Davis. 9.625 from Jaden Wakita before her.
Fight, 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 and she holds on to it. It's so easy when you're on those heels to have to take a step back. If you're a little forward, you can use your toes to grip, but you don't got toes in the back. Nice dismount there, almost caught me by surprise with that front full.
Lauren Lech battled through some health issues, and Tanya Chaplin said it's amazing she can even still compete in sport, and she does it with an incredibly hard work ethic and high energy for her teammates. And Sienna Robinson has high energy as well over on floor for the Cardinal, a 9.875 for Ashley Carter right before this.
Opens with the double tuck. And again, my favorite skill, the Memel turn.
MJ Frazier on vault.
MJ does the hardest vault we'll see today. Yurchenko double full. Controls the landing. That can be difficult. You have to have so much power to get 2 twists around on that Yurchenko. Not a problem for her. And as I previewed, Sienna is swaggy.
Swaggy swig. Stanford Women's Gymnastics. Good representation there from Sienna Robinson. Jennifer McMillan on beam after a 9.85 from Lauren Lech.
Another front to back combination. She does that back handspring swing down. The nice thing about that skill is you don't have to land on your feet, so sometimes you can avoid any bobbles when you're doing that swing down. Doesn't make it easy though.
Ayumi Oshiro on bars for Davis, a 9.75 from Mila Gideon right before her.
Ayumi landed super close on that pack salto. Really had to work hard to get that switch kip around. Takes the full turn right on top of the bar. Sticks the landing.
Good finish on bars and beam as Oshiro and McMillan wrap up their routines.
And she was really holding that finished position. Like I said, the judges want to see a solid 2 count. She left no doubt there.
MJ Frazier at 9.875, giving way to Maya Lazan in the 5 spot for Cal on vault. Meanwhile, Alana Walker, the freshman, on the floor after a 9.9 from Sienna Robinson.
Let's see what Maya can do. She's been known to stick this. Oh, just about gets it. The smallest hop forward.
After that miscue from Mayhew on the landing, Cesario, the 9.8, Frazier, the 9.875, a solid performance from Lazan for the Bears. Improvement for the Cardinal as well on floor. 9.85 from Dean, a 9.875 Carter, 9.9 Sienna Robinson. Jennifer McMillan, meanwhile, on the beam, a 9.825 as Sydney Gonzalez gets ready.
Alana finishing here with a front tuck through the double back. And on the beam, we saw another front to back combination there from Sydney. Something that this Oregon State team has a lot of. Cat leap into side aerial so nicely finessed through the end of that side aerial. Sydney has great lines, really balletic movements to her beam.
Fitzgerald awaits on the bars.
Oh, so close to the stick there. But they'll definitely knock her for that step. It was fairly sizable.
Maya Lazan, the 9-9 on the vault, and now it's the anchor Maya Wiley getting ready for the Bears.
And I've been keeping my eyes so close to this Cal team to see what they were going to do. They moved Maya to the 6th spot after that fall. They were waiting, and they were talking to her, they were talking to Jaden, they were talking to Casey. Maya's getting the go. What is this freshman going to do in this pressure situation? Oh, absolutely nail it. That's what she's going to do.
And she hits.
That was a huge routine because I was feeling the pressure back here in this Cal squad, and for a freshman to be able to step up in that type of environment, very impressive.
Anna Roberts on floor in that 5 spot for Stanford.
So much power for Anna Roberts. Big double tuck out of that combination. Front layout, front Rudy. You know, I say this all the time, but Anna is the perfect combination of power and grace. She can do the double flip, she can do the twist. She gets great extension on her leaps. A true all-around athlete.
Mia Heather getting ready to anchor the beam for Oregon State. Maya Wiley, on the other hand, a 9-9 in that anchor position for vault for Cal. What a performance with some last-minute changes. Wow. 49.275 is what the Bears will end in for the vault today.
On beam here we have Mia Heather.
The bars, Amelia Moneymaker, the anchor. A 9.725 from Isabella Fitzgerald before her. Mia Heather following a 9.8 from Sydney Gonzalez. Brenna Noltz getting ready to anchor and follow a 9.9 from Anna Roberts on the floor for Stanford.
Gainer Pike and a stick.
What a way to end it on beam for Mia Heather. We will have an exhibition for vault, bars, and beam as well, as we'll await the scores for Moneymaker and Heather. And all eyes will be on Brenna Nolt as Jaden Silvers gets ready for the exhibition on vault.
Jaden's going to be doing a 1.5. We haven't seen a lot of her this season. She had some pre-season injuries. Makes it around. You know, she stayed on her feet. That's a good confidence builder.
Here's the senior and Brenna Nolt.
Double pike to open. But the best part of Brenna's routine is the performance quality. She loves to put on a show. She loves gymnastics. And she loves competing at home.
Caitlin Garcia, the exhibition on the beam for Oregon State, a 49.175 performance for them in this last rotation.
Brenna showing off that Rudy. And continuing the good times on floor.
When you think of Brenna Nolt, you just think of good vibes.
Good vibes only going into this last pass. 1.5. Front layout. Controls it. Ladies and gentlemen, Brenna Nolt holding that pose, soaking in the energy of this crowd here at Maples.
Brenna Nolt, the anchor, literally and figuratively, one of the leaders on this Stanford team, part of the leadership council alongside Anna Roberts and Claire Dean. Head coach Tabitha Yin having a conversation with the group as Caitlin Garcia finishes her exhibition on beam. Jihan Punja, the exhibition on the bars for UC Davis. They'll end at a 48.575 on the bars in their last rotation.
Just missed her grasp there. You know, your grips, they have what's called a dowel. It's a little metal bar that helps you, it has to go over the bar, helps you grab. If you miss that or it slides off, it's so hard to get back on. Big dismount though.
Waiting the final score from Brenna Nolt as the anchor on floor for Stanford. Cal, 197.675 to lead it. And then Brenna Nolt's score coming in at a 9.85, 49.4 rotation for Stanford. And that will put them at 197.025. That does give Cal the outright ACC championship in the regular season. Following those two, Oregon State a 196.625 and UC Davis ending with a 195.3. Wow, what a quad that we saw today, Casey. Unbelievable. What were some highlights from you across all of these teams?
Well, I think to me, for UC Davis, that stuck vault from Kiana Abraham was skyrocketing. It was amazing. Definitely deserved the highest score of the meet. Cal, Maya Wiley coming through at the end to save this score. That was the difference between a huge road score that they're going to count to something that wasn't even going to be in the books. And even losing the ACC regular championship was on the line with that one vault there. Incredible. Stanford through and through. You know, I think they were steady. They had a slower start, but seeing the beam routine and especially this floor lineup coming through at the end to seal the deal was great to see. Oregon State I was just so impressed with how many routines they showed today. Like I said, they didn't have their strongest athlete competing with them. Jade was out, but they did not let that phase them. They put up a really good score that is going to count, actually all 4 of these teams are going to now drop the lowest counting score in their NQS, and it's going to help them all boost up the rankings.
And Cal improves overall to 13-2 on the season, a perfect 5-0 in ACC competition. The Cardinal 8-2 overall, 4-2 in ACC competition. Oregon State now 10-6 overall, and UC Davis 7-12 after this performance. And the California Golden Bears essentially sweeping the event titles as well as the all-around, particularly Maya Lazan, the all-around champion, as well as beam and a share of vault as well as floor. Incredible, but 4 gymnasts with a 9.9 in vault. That also includes Stanford's Anna Roberts and Megan Ray from UC Davis, and Maya Wiley, her teammate, as well on that apparatus. But what a performance from Maya Lazan. We're not surprised to see that kind of performance, but still outstanding.
You're never surprised, only in the good ways with Maya Lazan. She delivers every week for this team. Having that dependable athlete as a coach, as a teammate, that's something that makes everyone feel more at ease and allows everyone to perform their best, not just because she is, but because they know they can rely on each other.
And Maddie Williams also with the 9.95 to take the crown on bars for Cal. So what a performance for the California Golden Bears coming across the bay, and 3 top 15 teams in this quad here at Stanford. Any final thoughts, Casey, on the gymnastics that we got to see and that we'll continue to see the rest of the season?
Like I said, we felt blessed to have all these teams in the room. It was jam-packed. This is a great preview for postseason. All of these teams are going to use this experience under their belt so that when they get to those regionals and those play-ins and the Final Four, I'm hoping for at least a couple of these teams, they have the potential. This is going to set them up for success.
More gymnastics to come, but a great night here on the last Friday in February. Stick around if you want to take a look at the award ceremony. We will be signing off in the meantime. For my partner, Casey Magnuson, our entire crew, my name's Jenna Becerra. Thank you for joining us for this quad tonight. Quadruple the fun that we had here at Maples Pavilion. So long from Stanford, and we'll see you the rest of this season.